Legend Total War here, and today we've got a Rate Your Doomstack video covering a Clan Scryer Doomflayer army. So I think it does have to be specifically with Clan Scryer, since Clan Scryer can boost Doomflayers way further than other clans, largely thanks to the Forbidden Workshop, where it's got all the upgrades here except for the one that provides Stalk for characters on mounts, which definitely not needed in this case here. So let's jump into the battle here. He's got a set up here for an attack on Altdorf. He also has an Undercity, so I think it's important to have a look at that. So this one here gives... we're basically just getting a bit of extra leadership and a few extra menace below. So that's all we're really getting out of this. So the Undercity's not really providing anything substantial. Alright, let's jump into here and just see how they go. So what we're going to do here is just throw them in and see how many casualties we take. Now, I think it's important to note that we're not up against, like, an amazing army here. Like, Balthazar Gelt's got, like, a pretty low-tier army. So we're really just up against numbers. I think that the Doomflayer army would really struggle against a lot of single entities. But I'm curious to see how this would go. Because I know that a weapons team army would just have no problem with this at all. You know, as long as you got a Plague Priest in there. One Plague Priest basically destroys the entire garrison. So, just curious to see how this goes. Balance of Power is in our favor. What's the battle difficulty? Campaign difficulty was very hard. Yeah, it's on very hard, so that's fine. So, we don't have any regen. So, of course we'll use magic, but it's not going to be the thing that we focus on in this battle. Crack's Call's not too bad. Poor man's Wind of Death. Poor rat's Wind of Death. Let's do magic damage. It does. Okay, so let's pop that down. And this. Scorch is shit. Not going to use that. But Crack's Call is good. We've already thinned about a lot with magic. Alright, here we go. And let's see how the Doomflayers do. Alright, might also be a good idea to have this one take out artillery. Actually, those artillery are going to do more damage to their own troops than to us. So, we're probably best actually not doing that. So, looking at the stats of these, let's just pick a random Doomflayer, this one here at the front. So, looking at its stats, it's got Sundered Armor, okay, really good leadership, decent speed, melee attack 54, which is alright. So I think, yeah, him being in melee will eventually, every now and again, cast a Warp Lightning. Actually, yeah, no, we should take out their artillery so they don't do that. We're here to test this army out, not to cheese it completely. There's always going to be some degree of cheese when playing as Skaven. That's how they play. So they've also got Blade Swirl, which gives them extra missile resistance. It's the Sundered Armor. 34 bonus versus infantry. So yeah, very strong versus infantry. But I don't think this would do great against a cavalry spam army. There's some cavalry in here. And you could also use Death Frenzy. I believe we overcast that. Get even more melee attack. What was the other effect of it? Extra base weapon damage. Okay, that's alright. Of course we're not going to use the Doom Rocket. No need for it. So, bit of damage, but none of them have died yet. And the cavalry's getting wrecked. It's honestly performing a lot better than I expected. Balthazar Gels will cast on his own units there. Oh well. Gotta get rid of their artillery, otherwise they're just gonna kill so much of their own troops. And yeah, some of these Doomflayers have got loads of kills without having suffered any casualties. And there was a lot of anti-large in here as well, a lot of halberdiers. I definitely feel like this would be easier to siege with than it would be on a field battle, because all these choke points here make it difficult for them to properly use their missile units. And it's very easy to use. That's not a problem at all. Any noob could handle this army. Because that's one of the things about the weapons team army. It's very powerful, but it does require a bit of know-how. You need to know how to use it, where it's strong, where it's weak. Whereas this way, just throw it into melee. You know, don't need to worry about magic. It doesn't really do anything to us. Cool, Brass Cleaver is very useful in this situation as well. None of them have died yet, but some of them are probably getting close. I think I could just use a little bit of padding in here just so they stop taking so much damage, so I'll put them in as blow there. Since we've pretty much taken out all their artillery now. And I guess another good thing about this army is it doesn't rely on you trying to get loads of heroes, so you can put your heroes in other armies. I definitely wouldn't say that you should have all of your armies like this, but I'm actually quite impressed by what I'm seeing here. When I first saw Doomflayers when they were introduced, I was like, at least they don't look so good. But I don't know, I'm warming up to Doomflayers. Like, now I put my Warlock Engineers and Ichthys on Doomflayers, not Doom Wheels. Because the size of a Doom Wheel actually works against them, whereas Doomflayers are actually quite small. And that really benefits them. Too bad there's no way for us to heal them, that would be really useful. Don't leave anyone behind there. Yeah, not a single Doomflayer has died yet. Bound to lose one soon though. Nope. Oh yes we did. We lost one. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, close victory. So yeah, we took one casualty there. Wow, okay. But like I said, the army that he went up against was, yeah, mostly full of infantry. There is anti-large in there, but that's definitely not max upgraded Altdorf. So that was level... what level was it? That was level 3 Altdorf. Right. Alright, so rating it. I definitely could have put it up against a harder enemy to test it. But I think we got all the information we need from that. Another great thing about it is because they're so low in entity numbers, whenever you win a battle and take on captives, it's very easy just to replace their casualties. And in order to actually wipe out any of these, in victory or defeat, they have to actually wipe out every single Doomflayer, which certainly can happen, but let's just say you lose the battle, and these all come down to one troop. Well, you're still going to keep the unit alive. They have to destroy it completely. So that's really useful. So I can see this definitely being noob-friendly, which definitely earns it points. The easier an army is to use, the better. I'm gonna give it. I also don't think it's as strong as a weapons team army. It would beat a weapons team army, but you don't recruit your armies for what you recruit. You recruit armies for your enemies recruit. That's what the weapons team army is particularly good for. So I'm thinking like 8.5 out of 10. Like, it's good. I definitely can't see it. Like, I think it's really going to struggle against loads of... Like, if you go up against Bretonia, I think Bretonia would wreck it. If you go up against Norska, I think Norska would probably wreck it. Any race that has a lot of anti-large or a lot of single-entity monsters would probably wreck it. So this is definitely not going to be good against lizard men. But if you're going to go cause havoc in the Empire, maybe the dwarfs, as long as you're not going up against too many slayers, I think this would actually be pretty good. So yeah, not a sort of army that'll handle all situations, but it'll handle most situations pretty well. Now, if we compare this to the cost of a weapons team army, let's go to see if he's actually got one. Alright, that's a weapons team army. Another thing to consider is that it is more expensive than it. It's easier to recruit, but it is more expensive. Now, the Skaven in the late campaign don't really have problems with money, but in the early campaign it does. So it's more expensive than a weapons team army. Alright, well, in that case, I'm probably leaning towards an 8 out of 10. I thought it would be about the same price, but it's not. Yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is a fair score. It's a good army. Probably might recruit one in one of my campaigns in the future, maybe. But it's definitely not something that you need to do, or something that'll be better than the weapons team army. I think you just get better results out of those ones. Anyway, that's the end of this one, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Whether you think this deserves an 8 out of 10, or higher or lower, let me know. And I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.